Here's a fun fact. About 80% of Nevada's land is owned by the federal government. This has historically created some interesting issues. Like right now, when Congress is trying to sneak a provision into a budget law that could allow the sale of these lands without anybody's input in a vote that was taken in the middle of the night. You know, when I want people to know about something, I always say, do it in the middle of the night. So for context, Congress is trying to cut billions of dollars from the federal budget in order to pay for tax cuts. The problem is that cutting that spending is difficult when that spending is on stuff that people need, like Medicaid. It also turns out that raising revenue without raising taxes is hard. So that brings us to this week, when Representative Mark Amodei of Northern Nevada and Representative Celeste Maloy of Utah, both Republicans, sponsored a last-minute amendment that would have allowed the sale of these lands with the money going to the federal treasury. That includes more than 500,000 acres of federal land in Nevada. That doesn't sound crazy, but it only doesn't sound crazy if you ignore the history of how this land has been sold in Nevada in the past. We walk down memory lane to the 1990s and something called SNPLMA, the Southern Nevada Public Lands Management Act. So in the 90s, Las Vegas specifically is growing very fast and running out of room to build stuff. So local leaders want to buy federal land around Las Vegas to do more development. They do eventually hammer out an agreement that says, one, all the land that's sold also secures land for conservation somewhere else, and two, the money from those sales goes to a special Nevada-specific account. That was controversial at the time, and since, and similar bills in the past couple of years haven't gone anywhere, but it was at least something and set a precedent. Well, that brings us back to this week, because as a reminder, the Amodei-Maloy amendment would not give Nevada the money and wouldn't earmark new conservation areas. And again, it wouldn't give Nevada the money. Speaking with the Nevada Independent this week, Amodei, I'm paraphrasing here, basically said, look, nothing else is gonna pass, so this is it, take it or leave it. But Nevada's other representatives, all Democrats, are not pleased, to put it mildly. Senator Catherine Cortez Masto said the plan was insane, her words, and she said it's a billionaire giveaway that undoes decades of precedent for local input on these kinds of sales. All that said, we are going to have to wait and see what happens next. This is part of the reconciliation process. That's the legislative magic trick that Republicans are using to pass the budget without any Democratic support. However, news reports on whether or not reconciliation is still possible seems to shift by the day. That's because factions are emerging over all kinds of issues, like Republicans who want to cut Medicaid less, Republicans who want to cut Medicaid more, blue state Republicans mad about state and local tax deductions. You get the picture. And that's before anything even makes it to the Senate, so buckle up, I guess.